So, I know it's been quite a while since I've done a video, and I'm starving, and I don't want to share chips with my kid before she gets home from my mom's. So I'm going to be eating chips and guac because I love chips and guac. So I close on my house, this house, Friday at 2. It's been horribly emotional. Horribly emotional. You might hear some, like, stuff in the background. That's my dog's eating. So, I started going packing, right? And, you know, I got rid of most of his clothes quite a while ago. And I'm dreading going through the attic. I mean, fucking dreading it. Which I have to have help doing it, which there's only a couple people I feel comfortable with because I honestly need a guy. So it's either going to be one of his best friends, Dan, or Denny, or my friend Jerry. Because there's stuff in there that he brought when we moved in. We were both living at home, so we moved directly from our parents' house to here. So there's stuff there that, like, you know, he grew up with. And I know I'm going to come across a ton of pictures. Some from his childhood. And, so anyways, I've been just in the midst of, like, packing. I've come across shit that's his, right? I cleaned out the bathroom, and a fucking men's razor made me lose it. You know? Lose it. You know, and then I cleaned out our bathroom cabinet and, like, linen closet, whatever you want to call it. And in these plastic drawer things, right? And I'm just cleaning them all out because there's, you know how it gets, you just shove shit in there. And I came across a bunch of, like, stuff that I know we bought during the course of his illness, you know? Like, when he would have a procedure done. Because it was so hard a lot of times for him to clot, basically for his blood to clot because of his low platelets. We would have to pack it, right? You know, put a lot of pressure on the wound. And I fucking came across those, you know? And then I came across a pair of hair clippers when we shaved his head before we knew that the chemo was gonna make his hair fall out. You know, and so I'm packing away shit in a box. And it's very mixed emotions because everybody likes to use the phrase, you're ready. I don't think you can ever be ready for this, you know? You can never be ready. You can never be ready. And that's the hard part about explaining grief to people. Especially grief of a spouse, because you react like this and then they're like, oh, you're not over it. You shouldn't date, you know? And I don't think these having these moments at times, I mean, it's way less now, way less. Except for lately. I don't think this ever goes away, you know? Fucking came across another pair of old glasses he had in the junk drawer, you know? Because that man, like, couldn't not have a pair of glasses and fucking destroy them within the 2 years he would, you know, have them. And, I don't know, you know? it's just so emotional because I actually remember vividly the day that we moved in here. And I remember thinking, wow, I wonder what it's going to be like when, because we talked about it, we knew this wasn't going to be like our forever house. I mean, we stayed here much longer than we intended. But, like, I remember, like, vividly thinking, what's it going to be like when we move out of here? You know, are we going to have kids? What's it going to be like the last moment when we've sold this house? And I never thought in a million years that my last moments in this house would be by myself, with just me and my kid, you know? And that's where a lot of, like, the emotion is coming from, is realizing, like, you have this plan, or I had this plan in my head, and we did, and now it's just me, and, you know I can do this on my own. I don't question that at this point anymore. You know, there was a time that I questioned it. That I'm still scared. I mean, I'm going to have a bigger house payment. You know, that's scary. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not fucking scary. It's very scary. What are you doing, buddy? But I know I can do it, and I know I will do it. I'll get through Friday, but I'll be a fucking wreck. Like, literally, they wanted to do the closing in the morning, and I'm trying to flex my time at work so I don't have to take a day off, because I haven't reached my 90 days yet, so any time I take off is unpaid. So I'm flexing my time to avoid that. So originally, the buyers wanted to do 10 a.m. And I was like, look, I'm not going to push them on it, but this is going to be very emotional for me. I would prefer to work the morning at work, leave early, and be done the rest of the day, because I'll be a fucking wreck. And, so anyways, that's been done. So it's going to be 2 o'clock on Friday. And I'm nervous. I'm anxious. It feels a lot of like the first year of first for me, which I guess this is a first. The first time I sold a house, right? But that's what it's like for me. Very, that horrible anticipation of like when I knew it was like the first Father's Day and I got to get through that, you know, and the 2 weeks prior is fucking terrible. That's what it's like for me right now. I just want to get it over with. I want to get this over with. I want to move and be out of here. And be done with the move and just, and I truly feel here, this is the last piece of like my closure. No, it doesn't mean I'm not going to cry or be upset or have hard moments. But like this is so emotional because I know that this is like, this is the last of like a big piece of Rob, right? I moved from here. Like I'm not living in any huge piece. That's Rob. I mean, the next thing that I have to do is sell the boat, but it's different than this. And so for me, it's like selling this house was, it was so exciting when we bought this. We were homeowners. It was exciting. And I'm excited to move into my new house. I truly am. Excited, scared, but I'm sad. Because if you would have asked me 4 years ago, Because you figure 3 years ago, he had just at this time been diagnosed and my whole life was upside down. And I knew we weren't moving because we were planning on selling this house that spring. And that was taken off the table as soon as he got his diagnosis. So 4 years ago, if you would have asked me if I'd be doing this alone, I couldn't have saw that, you know? I couldn't have. You know, we were trying to, in a few months from 4 years ago, so like August of 2015, we were trying to have another baby. And here I am at 40. And yes, people tell me, like, it's not done yet, you could. I'm fucking 40. Let's be realistic at 40. Like, I'd have to meet somebody, like, today, and we'd have to boom, boom, boom. And if there's one thing I fucking learned through dating, the last hot mess I fucking was with, I don't want to move in with somebody right now. I'm going to do my own thing. Bought this house. Motherfucker can move in with me. Like, that's where I'm at. And, not that there's no one moving in with me. Let me clarify that. It's me and my kid. That's it. What I'm saying is, 2 years ago, whether I wanted to admit it or not, all I kept thinking about was finding somebody to marry because I needed to be a wife. I don't need to be a wife anymore. I would like to be again someday. That would be wonderful. I loved being a wife. I loved being a wife. Like, I don't know how many people actually say, like, I like being a wife. But I did. I was good at it. I was good at it for Rob. You know, I probably wouldn't be a good wife for everybody. But I was a good wife for Rob. And I feel like I was a better mother before all of this shit happened. I'm getting back there. I'm getting better. I'm far from perfect. I'm on my phone too much. I'm freely admitting that. However, you know, I'm a good mom overall, right? But I no longer need to get married. Again, would like to. I'm not saying I won't. Do I think that I probably will? I think that I feel like there's more than 50% chance I at some point will get married. But I used to think like, oh, in 5 years I got to be married again. No, I don't. That doesn't mean I don't see myself in a relationship or wouldn't like to be. I would be. I would love to be in I would love to find somebody that I felt connected with, that I could have a relationship with, and would be good to my daughter in the long run. But again, if there's one thing I've learned, I'm not introducing my child. I don't care how wonderful I think the dude is. I'm not introducing her for at least 6 fucking months. 6 months. I've told myself that over and over. For my benefit and for her benefit. For both of us. And the person I'm dating. Like, I need that. I need that. So, I think, you know, when people ask if you're ready or if you're this or are you done grieving, I'm going to put this out here very clearly. There is no done grieving. If anyone thinks that you have to be done grieving in order to be able to date or see someone else or fall in love, that's just a crock of shit. Because I'm telling you right now, I love Rob. I tried to tell myself I fell out of love with him, all this other crap 2 years ago. I didn't. I love the guy. I will always love that man. He was my partner. If he didn't die, I'd still be married to him. Still be married to him. However, he's dead, so I'm not married to him anymore. What I've come to realize is quite frankly, any man that's going to love me, and I say ultimately has to love my daughter, but beyond that, is going to have to accept he's 100% sharing his love with another man. The man is dead, but he's sharing that love because I'm never going to stop loving Rob. That's not going to happen. That man, there's nothing to fall out of love with. Yeah, I'm further removed. I am in a place where I do want to fall in love, like legitimately, and have it be a good, healthy love and not be forced. Like, I would like that. I enjoy partnership. You know what I mean? I don't need somebody, like, I'm not in a place, which is kind of how I know I'm in a healthier place, because when I met Rob, I knew, like, when we got back together, I should say, I knew we were in a healthier place because, like, we were dating, like, not very long, and he was talking about moving in, and I was like, I'm not ready for that. Like, let's just enjoy each other. And we did that for 3 years, and we were content not to live with each other. We still had a very good commitment. And then we moved in together. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I meet somebody, I have no desire to, like, okay, fall in love and say it's a year later, move in. Like, I know enough to know that I need to live on my own, in my own house, me and my kid for a couple of years. Like, I need that. You know, and I need to see that somebody can commit to, like, okay, you got your space, I got mine, this is where we're at right now. Maybe it'll turn something down the line. But that's how I know kind of where I'm in a healthier place, because beforehand, I was like, oh, I need, you know, like, when I was with Johnny, like, we were going to move in together and all of that, and, like, in retrospect, that's not really healthy. Like, I was literally going from living here with Rob to living with Johnny and potentially another house. I need to do this, you know, and again, it's scary and it's emotional, and I've come through a ton of his shit. I've come across a ton of his stuff. I was going through his movies, like all our movies, because we have a shit ton of movies, some of which are on VHS. Why the fuck we kept those at this point, I don't know. We don't have a VHS player. I don't even know if they exist. But Metallica VHS tapes, I don't know what they are, they're his. Instantly, I thought of him and his friend Dan, because I know Metallica makes Dan think of Rob, and that's what I thought of. Again, started crying. He has his Star Wars saga and his Back to the Future trilogy, which I think I got him that. Anyways. I got him that, and, you know, I have somebody that's interested in getting those. I could keep them. I could. But I'm not going to watch that shit. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch that, and I'm not going to watch Star Wars. And it's not because I don't like them. It's not my thing. I'm not going to pop those movies in and watch them. Those were his. And I'm finally in a place where I can say, like, why am I holding on to this? I'm not going to use it. I'm finally in a place where I can say, when we move, I have a box. It's already labeled. It's already got a chunk of his stuff in there. I don't know what else I may come across, but I have a chunk of his stuff I've put in a box. Rob's stuff. Where is it going to go? It's going to go in my basement, where if there's cabinets in the basement in the one part, it's going to go in there. That's where it's going to go. I'm not going to open up. I'm not going to display the shit. Like, but I want to keep it. You know, that's important to me. Like, I want to keep it for periods of time when Victoria may want to be close to her dad, and that may be what she needs. And I have another box, a small box, that's like a keepsake box that has some of his shirts in there and some other things in there. And I also kept his medical records, all his medical records from the time he was at Carmanos. And I know some of you might be wondering why. Largely, it's for Victoria, obviously, because that is her dad. Genetically, I want her to have access to that stuff. I hope to God she'll never need it. But if at some point her or, you know, God forbid one of her kids has it, they have access to that stuff. That's why I kept it. I don't look at it anymore. I don't, because I made that promise to myself when I ran the 5K. I would not look at that shit anymore, and I don't. But I want her to have that in case she does need it. And largely because, you know, something happens to me, the only other person I'm the only person that knows the extent of the disease next to the fucking doctors. No one else does. Like, no one else. I educated myself beyond what any of you would fucking realize. It was ridiculous. But I want her to have that, should she need it. Again, I already know where it's going to go. I've already made the determination that, like, there's a picture of Rob and Victoria fishing off the dock. That's going to currently, well, I've taken it down. It was at the end of my hallway here. I plan to have it. I asked her if she wanted that picture in her bedroom. She said yes. So that picture will be displayed. And then there's one picture, the last family picture we had done together. So she would have been too. I haven't determined where I want to keep that. I know not in my bedroom, which is hard for me, but I need to do that. I can't really explain to you why, but I need to do that. So that'll either be in her room or in, like, what's going to be her bathroom is kind of what I'm thinking, or the spare bedroom. But the other pictures of him and I'm packing away, which is hard. But again, all of it's part of my closure for me. I know I need to do that. And the thing of it is I know where the shit's at. I know I'll pull it out from time to time and look at it. You know. I know I will. But I don't know how to explain it except that I'm going into this new place and I really want it to be my place and not this, like museum of death. I don't know if that's the right word, but like a museum where it's like, oh, you know, like where it still feels like he lives there. And that might sound insensitive, but I need that separation. I need that separation. And while I don't want to take any of that away from my child at all, and I want to talk about him every day because that's important to me in terms of her connection with her father. You know, I talk about him a ton, and I don't want to not talk about him, but I would love to get to a point where, like, I don't talk about him as much, and it's really hard for me to still do that. You know, I'm still grieving, and I've accepted that I'll always be grieving. The grief is different than it was 2 years ago, thank God. You know, I don't feel lost anymore. I don't feel lost. But I do miss him. I miss him a lot, you know. And that's what I realized is that how the grief is different now, if you ask me what's different now about grief, is it comes in... kind of comes in tidal waves, like you'll be going along and you're fine, and you're fine for longer periods of time is what I've noticed now. Like, I'll have several good days and several good things that'll happen. I'll go out on a date and the date was really good, or I'll do something fun with Victoria, or whatever it might. Watch a great movie, right? Watch My 600-Pound Life, something like that. And then all of a sudden, something will trigger something. And this move is definitely triggering that. And it's going to be, Friday's going to be, I just anticipate being a mess. anticipate until I get in my new house. I'm going to be a mess. It's going to be emotional. So, that's where, you know, how it's different for me is it comes in moments where it's this huge tidal wave, and it's right now a huge tidal wave for me. And it is because I fucking miss that man right now. I miss him. I miss him, you know? He was fucking fun and funny, and he would be telling me to quit stressing out so much, and he'd be talking about how he'd be walking up to the water at this new house that I'm buying, you know? And the best piece about the house for me is, honestly, I know when I go on that back deck, I can look over the Clinton River and the water that he always loved. He always loved water and boating and fishing, and like have a good memory of him and have that peace. You know what I mean? Like just peaceful. But yeah, I miss him. You know, there's no doubt. Like when I would tell you that I didn't miss him or whatever, like that a couple years ago when I was in denial, that's a fucking crack of shit. I miss that man. I still miss that man. You know, and I think I've accepted that the tidal waves as time goes on will become less and less, but there'll still be tidal waves. I've talked to widows that are 25 years out, and their children got married, and they have already moved on and all that, and they start bawling because their significant other, their late spouse, isn't there to see their kids get married. So I know that it's still going to come in tidal waves, and I was lucky enough to have a really good marriage to have those tidal waves of missing someone that much. It means I had something really good. And so I've come to that acceptance, and I know that for those of you that haven't lost a spouse, it's impossible to understand this. It's impossible to understand how you can love someone else and be ready for love when you still have this amount of grief over this person that you spent a good chunk of your life with. I can't explain it to you. All I can tell you is that my heart has this huge ability to love while still grieving this person that I miss immensely and will always love immensely. And I hope that that gives you some insight into how I feel. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted. I'm sure Friday, if I do a video or chat, I'll be a hot fucking mess. So have a good night, guys.